Visionaries, creative geniuses, modern-day Renaissance men. These are not the words that people who know Luke and Jorge would use to describe them. They are best friends, shameless connoisseurs of the basic and the niche. And most importantly, two guys just being dudes. Welcome to Bad Jokes and Semi-Wisecracks with Luke and Jorge.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I see that you're gesturing to the listeners. Hello, listeners. It's so good to see you.
Welcome to the podcast. This is episode 2, season 2. Overall, this is episode 20.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which is how old I was when I was 20. I couldn't think of anything.
Fair enough. I didn't want to out you as far as age.
Yeah. That's how old I was when I had some older friends, and then we couldn't go to bars because they wouldn't let me in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how old I was when all of my older friends, I think technically you included,
Yeah, I am older.
went to a bar one time and they're like, "Oh, I wonder if they'll let Jorge in," and then
I remember that time.
You remember that
and
time?
then they did.
And it's because I think I called you an expletive child.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because you took forever to order, and then I ordered, and the guy just didn't ID me, even though he ID'd everyone else at the table.
Right. I feel like now, this might not be true, but I feel like then I looked young for my age, and you maybe looked a little bit older for your age, and so it might have just been like a, wow, this little white boy is probably the youngest one at the table, but I wasn't. Anyway.
It's probably a number of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shout out to that guy.
Yeah. That guy.
That guy.
Get on the pod. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Luke.
My name is Jorge.
And we're here to talk to you today.
We are here to talk to you. What's the pose? This is an audio only podcast, so
right.
me doing a pose isn't helpful. But
what you just did looked kind of like Fire Nation, sort of.
Oh.
Is that where you were going for?
No, I was going for I just had to do it to him.
Oh. Okay, I see it.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Luke and I have a very interesting game set up for today.
We do. We sure do. Would
you? Yeah. Do you want me to explain it? Do you want to explain it?
Either way. You explain it.
Okay, cool.
You're more pretty than I am, so you should say it.
So you may or may not have heard of this little. It's kind of we're treating it as a game. But it is a very serious thing that exists in the world. It's been published in the New York Times. It's been published in Cosmopolitan.
So you can tell it's really serious.
Very serious. It's called 36 Questions to Fall in Love.
Yeah.
And Luke and I are going to ask each other these questions.
Yeah, we're going to fall in love right now, live on this
baby.
podcast.
So, I think first and foremost, just going to put this out there, Luke and I are friends.
Mm-hmm.
One might dare say best
friends? Aww.
So, I love my homie.
I love my homie.
But are we going to treat this with the utmost seriousness?
No.
Of course. Oh.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
No, for sure not. Should we just jump in?
Let's just jump right in.
Great.
Okay.
Do you want to ask the first question?
Sure, I will. Okay, so question number 1. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Someone who eats very little.
Okay. Is that so that way you can have more than half of whatever the food is?
Well, I think it's because dinner sounds expensive.
Oh.
Yeah.
What if it's not, though? What if it's like at like a taco place where you can get a taco for like 80 cents or something?
Well, I guess the real question is who's paying?
They're paying.
We're going to the most expensive place I can think of. Most exclusive place we can think of.
Ooh, Olive
Casa
Garden?
Bonita.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So who would the guest be? Like one of the cliff divers or something? The guy in the ape suit?
Oh my, that would be incredible. I think realistically it has to be someone that's very famous, but maybe only famous to me. Could it be, they didn't say whether the person was dead or alive.
True. Yeah.
So I would probably pick anyone in the world. Wow. Is this a double date? Like, are we each bringing somebody?
You can. if you want to.
Or is this just me and the person?
To me, the question feels like it's just you and the person.
Okay, then we have to give 2 answers. Like if it was me and just a person, probably my girlfriend.
Okay, that's cute and nice. And also, what's your other answer?
my real answer.
Uh-huh.
I really want to have dinner with. Oh man, this is such a hard question. I don't know if you could tell I've been stalling this whole time.
What? No, I definitely couldn't tell.
What about the CEO of Patreon?
Okay.
Jack, what's his name?
That's his real name.
That's his real. No, his real name is Jack. I don't know his last name.
Yeah, I don't either.
What about you?
Well, can I ask why you would pick that person?
He seems like a fun guy. He's bald and he has a beard.
That's like me.
That is
I'm
like
those
you.
3 things.
And I don't know. I think he does a lot of interesting stuff. He's the CEO of Patreon. He also does a lot of music stuff. He seems like a fun guy to sort of hang out with. If I had to have dinner with one person and it's not my girlfriend, she would probably want it to be somebody I'm not attracted to.
Fair.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Jack from Patreon.
I like it.
What about you?
Okay. Hot take. Gordon Ramsay.
Oh.
Because I would just have him cook first. And then I could kind of take it or leave it in terms of like the conversation, but he would have made the food. And so then the food would presumably be really good.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to hang out with him because he's British. I'm just kidding. I have nothing against the British. But when I think of celebrity chefs, he's not the person that comes to mind the highest.
That's fair. I guess maybe he's the only celebrity chef that I know of.
Oh.
No, Emeril Lagasse.
I want to have dinner with Emeril. That sounds
yeah.
incredible.
Uh-huh. Bam. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. That's my real answer. I changed it to that. Who are the celebrity chefs that you think of when you think of a celebrity chef?
Oh, I don't know if he's like a celebrity chef, but I think of J. Kenji Lopez Alt.
I don't even know who that is.
Fair enough. There's wow, I'm really blanking on celebrity chefs. There's Tommy. God, what's his name? He makes like southwestern food often.
I can't help
Billy
you.
Flame or something like that.
That's a cool name.
No. You know who I'm thinking? He's not who I'm thinking of. You know who else would be really great?
Who?
Guy Fieri.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know who else would be really great?
Who?
Billy Mays.
Billy Mays here.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrity chefs. Let's see if we can get to 5.
Okay. Well, we have 3 already. Is Guy Fieri a chef?
Yeah, he runs a restaurant.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's 3.
It's 3.
Gordon, Emeril, and Guy. Okay, quick aside. Do you know anybody named Guy?
In real life, no.
Yeah, me neither. But it always strikes me as such an interesting name.
Is that their real name?
I don't know.
There's a really famous astronomer whose name is Guy Consolamain.
Okay.
He contemporary, like he's living.
Okay.
I think he's like the top Vatican astronomer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The Vatican has astronomers?
Uh-huh. And he won the Carl Sagan Award.
Okay.
And he's a Jesuit.
Whoa, that's a lot of things.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Not a chef, though.
Not a chef. Well, maybe on like a personal level, but not like a professional chef.
Yeah, probably like makes a frozen pizza now and again. I sure do.
Yeah. I had dinner with the president of our alma mater.
I think I was there at that. They made pasta?
Yeah. He made pasta.
Yeah.
He made it.
Wait, who?
Father Fitz.
Father Fitz made the pasta?
Father Fitz made the pasta.
That's cool.
And we took home leftovers.
We did, yeah. And also, they definitely gave us red wine and they didn't ask how old we were.
Well, because I think it was all grads.
Okay.
Because it was Yumi and Izzy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, weren't we still in school at that time?
That was right after we graduated.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. I had
that was
a good time.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so maybe we can't get to 5 professional chefs. Maybe we should just move on. I definitely don't have 2 more in my back pocket.
I'm gonna list 2 more before the episode's over.
Okay,
that's
great.
A personal goal.
That's like a I don't know about that. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Question 2?
Question 2. Do you want me to read it?
Sure. Hey, wait. So, do you have an ad on the side? We're both looking at the same website on our separate computers. Do you have a sidebar ad?
I don't.
I do. and it says 28-day fasting challenge for weight loss, and then it's a bunch of cartoons of women that, you know, you could expect to see on like a weight loss thing, but they kind of look like, if you remember when Magic the Gathering put out their D&D set, and then they had the art where it's like sort of cartoony. Oh, now it's Frank Azar. Anyway, let's move on.
Shout out Frank Azar.
Frank Azar.
If you're listening to this, get on the pod.
I have questions.
Me too. The strong arm.
Yeah. How strong are your arms really?
Oh, you know, celebrity chef. I got one.
Frank Azar?
Bobby Flay.
Don't know.
You don't know who that is?
Nope.
Cool. Okay. We can keep going.
Okay. You have to list one more in the next 50 minutes.
So question 2 of the 36 questions. Would you like to be famous, and in what way?
So I think I wouldn't mind being like internet famous, where like a decent sized handful of people know who I am, but they are so spread out geographically that it's unlikely that I would ever run into them. But I don't think I'd want to be famous in like a Tom Cruise kind of a way, because I feel like it would just be so hard to live your life. And then also, like, if we think of like children that become that famous and then grow up to be all weird, like I feel like even if I became that famous like today as a 20-something-year-old adult, I feel like I would maybe become weird. And I don't know if I want to be. I mean, like, I'm already weird in a different kind of a flavor, but I don't know if I'd want to be that kind of flavor of weird, you know?
Yeah.
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 So that's my answer.
I would be fine being famous, but not like super famous. I would want to be like internet famous. I'd want to be famous enough that like if my podcast, our podcast,
This podcast right here?
perhaps
Whoa.
if we announced that we were doing live shows in a city near you,
Yeah.
people would like show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I wouldn't mind taking like being in an airport for like 2 hours and taking like one photo with a fan,
Sure.
or like
Yeah.
a couple photos with fans. But I don't think I would want to be like hounded by the paparazzi.
Right. Like, I want to spend most of my time at the airport playing Breath of the Wild and not taking selfies with strangers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say, like, yes, I'll be in this photo if my buddy Link can also.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, cool. Question 3.
So question 3. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Why?
Ooh. I definitely do when it's like people I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I always know, I have a sense of what I'm going to say before I say it. I think that's like generally how I get into phone calls. Like because if it's something I can kind of make up as I go, it's usually a text message because it's something smaller. But if it's like if I'm calling you about something, I usually have a good sense of what we're going to talk about.
Right.
And then I can veer off from there. It usually does.
Yeah, I would say almost always.
But like if I'm calling like a bank, or I don't think I've ever called a bank. If I'm calling like a restaurant to see what time they're open, or if I'm calling like a doctor to make an appointment, then most of the time I make them online.
That's, yeah, same.
But in the times where I've had to do those things, usually I'm like, okay, I don't think I'd rehearse it, but I do think like, what am I trying to ask? And what do I need to tell this person in order to get the information I need?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any strong feelings about talking on the phone as a concept? Like,
I think it's fine. I think
okay.
I think I spend so much of my work on like emails or phone calls or text messages or Zoom calls that like in my head there's a hierarchy of need. Like it's almost like a linear, right? Like there's just one axis, and it's, I guess there might be two. Whatever. It's essentially like how quick do I need the information versus how much collaboration does getting to the information require.
Okay, gotcha.
So if I like need the information quickly, I'll usually call or text. Usually text though.
Yeah.
If I need the information less quickly, I'll send an email.
Okay.
And especially if it needs to be more detailed.
Right.
Phone calls are like, I need to have a conversation with this person more so than like I need something from them or I need to tell them something. It's usually like this requires like asking questions and like giving feedback more than like a handful of times. And then a video call is usually like we're working on something together.
Okay.
Or like a group of people are working on something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I definitely rehearse what I'm going to say on the phone. And it's because I hate talking on the phone most of the time. Like, I have a fairly short list of people that I don't mind talking on the phone to, and it's like my parents, you, like one other friend, and that's basically it. And then any other time, I would much rather it be not a phone call conversation, to the point where, like, if I need something from like a place, like a restaurant, or like somebody to come to my house to like fix something. If there's two options and they're mostly the same, but one of them I can get everything done on the internet and one of them I have to call someone, I will pick the internet one only because of that. So if I ever have to make a phone call, I definitely like rehearse it in my head before I call, just because I hate it so much. And it's weird because there was a time in my life when I worked in an office where I had to answer the phone all the time, and I would go, Residence-Housing, this is Luke, how can I help you? And like, that was kind of fine. And I figured that would like fix me for the rest of my life in being able to talk on the phone, but it didn't. I'm back to how I was. I hate it, can't stand it, don't want to do it.
Wow.
Yep.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Fair enough. I have another professional chef, or a celebrity chef.
Ooh, who is it?
Two came to mind. Paula Deen,
Okay.
the lady who got in trouble for saying the N-word.
I don't know about that, but okay.
She cooks Southern food and adds a lot of butter. It's like her thing.
Okay.
Oh, Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray. I know who that is. Yeah.
Yes, you do. I was gonna say David Chang, but
No, I don't know who that is. Yeah.
yeah. But Rachel Ray.
If you had given me enough time, I might have been able to come up with Rachel Ray.
You
but
think
I
so?
didn't. Yeah. Like, I remember her being on Ritz Crackers boxes and stuff.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chrissy Teigen, who's married to John Legend.
That's a name that I know. Both of those names. I know who John Legend is, but Chrissy Teigen is a name that I've heard before for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I live under a rock.
Maybe. How do you feel about that?
Kind of indifferent.
Fair enough.
Like, I haven't had social media on my phone in a while, and I know that means that I've missed some stuff, but I don't really care that I've missed it, because I figure if I need to know, I'll find out eventually.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with social media, right? There's like this conception of like what perfect is.
Ooh, what do you mean? Say more.
Like when we see social media stuff, for the most part, I think some people are pretty candid, but for the most part, social media, and this is a well-documented thing, but it's like the idealized version of people's lives.
Oh, like very curated and not
very actual.
Not like a B-reel.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, are you on B-reel?
No, but I have been in many children's B-reels. Like
Ugh.
in the middle of the class, they'll be like, "Mr. Heater, you want to be in my B-reel?" And then I'll strike a pose, and then, or like I've had like the whole choir be in a B-reel before. One time, okay, so hold on, this is a quick aside. So in my classroom, I have a projector at the front of the room that projects onto the whiteboard. But then if nothing is being projected, it just does like the blue screen, right? And so I took a B-reel one time where I stood on a bench at the front of the room and like took the front facing, or the back facing picture of the whole choir, and then the front facing picture was just me. But when I ended up taking like the selfie mode, I only got like my eyes and my forehead, and I was standing in the blue screen, and so I looked like a guy from the Blue Man Group. And I guess people commented on that on the kids' B-reel, and then they reported it to me the next day, like, they said that you look like a Blue Man Group guy, and I was like, well, that tracks. I am bald and blue, so yeah, that's all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Should we have a podcast B-reel?
We can, but you should run it because I look like a blue man.
I was gonna say we could alternate.
We could,
Yeah.
just switch who's in the selfie and who's in the regular camera.
But yeah, social
Yeah.
media, interesting.
Yeah.
So our next question: what would constitute a perfect day for you? I was trying to lead to a thing.
Oh,
It's okay. It's very funny that we went on this tangent.
we did. Sorry for disrupting your thing. Did you say perfect day or perfect date?
Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What would a perfect day look like for you, Mr. Am I saying your last name in this podcast?
You can. I already did today. Yeah.
Mr. Heater.
Yeah.
So
So
it would be teaching.
sometimes. I feel like it really depends on what the previous day looked like, because well, no, hear me out, because like I love my job, but also like if it's a Saturday, I don't want to go to my job because I just spent the whole week at my job, right? But also come like August 10th or whatever day I go back, I might be really excited to go back because it's been all summer and I haven't done anything, right? So like I feel like I enjoy having a medium amount of stuff to do in my life, and then a mild amount of like time to not do anything. So if I've been really busy, then a perfect day would be like get up, have a cup of coffee, play some video games, have another cup of coffee, maybe go for a walk, maybe not, like very chill time. But if I've done that already for like a couple days or like a week, then, a perfect day could be like get up, go to work, nothing bad happens the whole time, exercise with my buddy Chris after school, and then go home and then eat a food, and that would be great. Or a perfect day, it kind of in the middle, could be like wake up at a time, go to a place that has my friends there, and then hang out and do that, something like that. So like I guess I don't have a one-size-fits-all answer for what I want to do with my time, because I want to do a few things. I am a complex and multifaceted individual.
I respect that.
Thank you.
I respect that.
How do you feel about your perfect day?
I sleep until 2 p.m.
Whoa.
No, I think I sleep in a little bit. I think a good day for me starts at like 10 a.m.
Okay.
I sleep in. I have a really good, really wonderful brunch with my partner, probably at home. Maybe I cook that morning.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And then we get up to some kind of activity. Maybe we go to like a craft store. I've been getting into sewing.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. So, or maybe I get up early, start the process of baking bread.
Ooh.
And then I go back to sleep for a couple hours, and then wake up, get back to the bread like kneading process or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, during the middle of the day, probably from like noon to 4, I'm out of the house. I'm doing something fun. Maybe go on a hike. That's a bad time to go hiking, but
yeah. Well, you'd probably beat the afternoon thunderstorm in this time of the year.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm doing something else though. Maybe I'm like at a park riding a bike or something casual and fun. Maybe I'm walking around downtown Golden.
Ooh.
Or downtown Denver, or doing something, just like maybe I'm at a coffee shop. Maybe I go get some coffee. Maybe I like just kind of enjoy lounging and doing something. And then, probably like 4:30, come home, watch a movie, and then go out to eat dinner.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And then come back and play video games and then call it a night.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like that's a lot of like doing something and then doing not something and then doing something and then doing not something.
Yeah.
That seems like a good way to be.
Yeah. The only other thing that comes to mind is like camping. Like waking up, maybe not like car camping, maybe like waking up in a cabin.
Ooh, cool.
And like having a cabin style breakfast and, like just something small and simple, like campfire breakfast. And then going for like a hike, doing some like outdoor activity, and then coming back and relaxing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been camping this year yet?
Not this year. No, I haven't gotten to do any camping. I've gotten to do a lot of hiking. I was in Tucson a couple months ago, and I was taking a bunch of photos while I was there, but there was like a day or two while I was there. I was there for work, but I got there a little early, and I got to like check out the national park, Saguaro National Park.
Cool.
So I got to see the cactuses, and like I went on like a little hike, and I got to visit the welcome center of the national park. So like I've gotten to be tangential to be outside, but I haven't gotten to sleep outside yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's only June, whatever today is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We could record a podcast camping.
Dude, we should record a podcast camping.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a great idea.
What a great idea. If you like this idea, dear listener, let us know.
Yeah.
You can email us at lukeandjorgepod@gmail.com. I'm doing the voice.
You are. I like it, though. It's working.
lukeandjorgepod@gmail.com. Yeah, or hit us up on social media or whatever.
Yeah, or send us a Venmo if you want.
We have the Venmo. What's our Venmo handle?
Luke and Jorge Pod, just like everywhere else.
Yeah, at LukeandJorgepod.
That's right.
I'm a poet.
Yeah. And also, we have a YouTube channel now.
We do.
That you should look at. It has not only full episodes, but also other things also.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
You might be listening to this podcast on YouTube.
Which, if you are, you should do all the things that people say to do, please.
Like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications.
Yeah, Jorge's doing a voice, but you please actually do those things. Thanks.
It'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Drop a comment with what your perfect day would look like.
Yeah. Anyway, should we move on to question number whatever we're on? 5?
5.
We are not going to get through all 36 questions.
No way.
That's okay. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a silly one for us. When did you last sing to yourself and or to someone else?
I was whistling like 20 minutes ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that the same as singing?
No, but it's tangential.
It is. You're right.
When was I last singing this? I was probably singing to myself earlier today, and I was probably singing like a Bruce Springsteen song or something. Like just something that was stuck in my head from like several years ago.
Yeah.
That just wormed its way out for some reason. I sang at you last night. I sang at you yesterday.
You did?
Yeah.
I believe you. I just don't remember.
I made a parody of a Britney Spears song about being bitten by mosquitoes.
You did.
I don't remember it.
I don't either, but it was good and I liked it.
Yeah.
And I definitely got bit by some mosquitoes.
Yes. I might have sang at Alexa either last night or this morning, but I don't remember.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I sing often. Maybe not like this week a ton. I've been dancing a lot.
You have been dancing a lot.
Yeah. I danced a lot yesterday. Well, I danced a lot 2 times yesterday because we went to a thing in the evening. Should we describe the thing?
Yeah.
So we played, our band played a gig at a brewery in Fort Collins, Colorado, and it was rad.
This is our jazz group. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we plug the jazz group?
Sure. Check out thejazzsection.com to see what...
to see what we're up to.
Yeah. Yeah. Check it out. We're on there. Anyway, we played a gig. And I like to dance, and I have a wireless microphone for my saxophone, so I will not be fettered by the norms of the non-dancing people. So I dance there. That's good. I also have been going to the summertime strength and conditioning program that the gym teacher puts on for the high schoolers, and he always plays fun music, and so I dance there also. So yeah.
If I asked you to sing right now, what would you sing?
Do you have any stipulations?
No.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Oh.
Ain't nothing but a mistake. And I don't know why I'm singing that. It's just the first song that came to my mind.
Is it because I sent you a TikTok with NSYNC in it yesterday?
It could be, but that's the Backstreet Boys, and I know that they're similar.
I know that was the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
They are similar.
Yeah.
They occupy a very similar space in my brain.
They do.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is perhaps revealing my age a little bit, but weren't they not really the same time?
I think
because I feel like I might be a little bit too young.
No, they definitely had a rivalry.
Did they?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I guess I had in my head that the Backstreet Boys were like the 90s and then the NSYNC was like the early 2000s.
They were kind of both like end of the 90s, beginning of the early 2000s.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because Backstreet Boys Millennium.
Oh, came out in 2000?
It came out in 99, 2000, sometime.
Remember 99, 2000?
Not really.
Yeah, honestly, same. Some of the listeners definitely don't, I'm sure.
When did this album came out? May 18th, 1999.
Wow. A day that will live in infamy.
Well, sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
so question 6.
Yeah.
If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
Easy. I would pick the body of a 30-year-old because I feel like, one, partially your mind deteriorating is because of like your physical brain is deteriorating. I'm sure. I have no science to back this up, but that just makes sense to me. And also, I feel like my grandparents are in their like late 80s and they're pretty sharp. They're pretty with it. But they are in their late 80s, and so like they can't really fall down or they will get really hurt or like, they move pretty slow. But I feel like, and also like, not to say that what am I trying to say? When I'm 30, I hope that I have not peaked in my ability to know things. And so I don't know if I would want to freeze my mind in my 30-year-old mind, which I don't know if that's exactly what the question is asking, but I think I would rather just live to 90 with my 30-year-old rockin' bod, be able to like
hot
ski
grandpa.
And stuff. Yeah, that's me, hot grandpa. Like I feel like this is gonna sound like something, but I feel like having a mind is overrated. Like when my mind goes, I won't know. Only the people around me will know, and so I don't know.
But you could become dangerous, Luke.
I'm already dangerous. Check these hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the brute strength of a 30-year-old man.
Right. With the wisdom of an 89-year-old, that would be, I'd be unstoppable.
There's a part of me that wants to say brain, because I've definitely romanticized the idea of like the public intellectual.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Just like the capacity to continue to like work and learn and think and be respected as like a thinker late into my old age.
Okay.
Though, like, if we're being honest, I think you're right. Like, most of the people I know peak, I don't know if I would even say peak intellectually or whatever, but just like some of the writers and the thinkers that I've followed or that I read, and, you know, people that I really enjoy and appreciate, I feel like most of them are writing well into their 60s. And some of their best work comes out when they're like 50 or 60. Like, they have collected wisdom and they have just like the brain power. Like, they just, because it doesn't even come from brain power, but it comes from just knowledge and being able to apply that knowledge in such a way that like it's like was still good. So yeah, I guess I would also have to say hot grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like also, like, you know, the wisdom of being old sort of comes with like time. So like to what am I trying to say? Like, to freeze your mind at 30, like you need to become older to become smarter anyway. So you might as well have a rockin' six-pack all that time.
Yeah. I'm going to be quick-witted until I die.
Yeah, you are.
At 36.
Oh, no. Well, all right. Have you had your midlife crisis yet, then? At 18?
Yes, that actually tracks.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on. Did you have anything more to say about that? Okay, are we on 7?
Yeah.
Am I reading it?
Yeah.
Do you have... Oh, geez. You did this on purpose. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
I think on my 36th birthday.
When the clock strikes midnight.
Because, yes, I was infamously born at midnight.
Right. It's midnight somewhere.
When the clock strikes 5 o'clock Central Time. No, I think... I don't think so. I don't have a secret hunch about how I'm gonna die. I do have a feeling that it's either gonna be very peacefully or like horrific.
Oh.
No in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were to pick a horrific thing, you don't have to. Are we traveling down a rabbit hole we don't want to go down? I kind of want to go down it.
You want to go down this?
Well, now that I've already said the question out loud, I want to know what you
do. We want to bring controversy into this podcast? Do we want to talk about gun control in the U.S.?
Yeah, we need more of it. The end.
I guess one option would be like being mauled by like a bear or something.
Whoa, okay. That would be pretty horrific.
Like on live TV.
Whoa, like in a gladiator pit?
No, like I'm at the zoo. I'm like working as like a news reporter at a station, and then someone's like, "There's a bear," and I turn around and I get ripped in half or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be kind of wild to like die horrifically, but on TV also.
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't have a secret hunch about how I will die. I hope that it's like I don't even notice. But if I were to pick a horrific way, I think it would be like, boy, what would I pick? I think like falling out of an airplane would be really something.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But like not on purpose?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, now I don't know if I like that because like that would, I mean, like it would be a real bummer, but also you'd have time to see some really cool stuff. And then when you splat, you would probably not even really notice, right? It would be like you're falling and then you're not anymore. Yeah. I feel like the worst thing though would be drowning. I would not want to drown.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway,
can you name 3 things that you and your partner, I'm assuming that means his conversation partner.
Yeah.
Appear to have in common.
Yes, I can. So, okay, so are we each going to name 3 things?
I think so.
So that means I get the advantage because I'm going first. Okay, we both attempt music sometimes. We both went to school at the same place for undergrad. We both need corrective lenses on our eyeballs.
This is true.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say we're both talking into microphones.
We are. Wait, we have to talk at the same time.
Hello. We've already done it. Get on the pod. There we go.
Yeah.
No, I would say, so that's probably the first. We're like clearly recording something.
Mm-hmm.
If you could call this a podcast, maybe that's a little bit generous.
Yeah.
What else? We both appear to have facial hair.
We do. We
Yeah.
do. Yes.
And lastly, we both just guys being dudes.
Can I take a pretty big swing that I don't know if is true? We have both never been to Idaho.
I think that's true.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow, cool. Because I knew it was true for me, but I didn't know if it was true for you.
I'm pretty sure. Like, I've flown over Idaho.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't think that counts.
I don't think that counts.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, what are we on, 9?
9.
For what in your life do you feel most grateful? Wow, this really was like an English major wrote this. Like a normal person would say, what in your life do you feel most grateful for? But no, Cosmo's not going to end their question with a preposition. Anyway.
For what in my life do I feel most grateful? I think I'm grateful that I'm in good relative health.
Okay.
Like, not perfect. Far from it. But, like, I don't know. I don't need, like, much medical assistance to get through the day. I think other than glasses or whatever. I think that's probably number 1. If I had to pick a number 2, I feel like I'm just in a really good place in my life. Like, I don't have to worry about much. Like life is far from perfect. But yeah, like I don't really have to worry about where my next meal is coming from, or like that I have a roof over my head, and like some pretty basic things that I think a lot of people, myself included, take for granted.
Yeah. I agree, but I'm going to say something different just because so that I can say something different. But yeah, health is great. I love not having to worry about that. And also, being sort of stable is nice. But I am really grateful for the place that I live, and specifically that it has carpet, because boy, I love me some carpet. Like, I like the feeling of carpet on my bare tootsies, and I like to lie on the floor sometimes, and it's no fun to lie on the floor on a hard floor.
Fair enough.
I like having carpet. I like that the carpet was there when I arrived. I like that the carpet was clean when I arrived.
Whoa.
Yeah. Secondarily, I'm grateful to have a Roomba, so that way I never have to vacuum.
I'm kind of jealous.
It's pretty rad. I started the Roomba when I left to come here.
Wow.
Okay, really fast. Can I tell you a great accomplishment that I made today?
Absolutely.
So we are here in your home, which is perhaps like a 25-minute-ish drive from my home, give or take. And I have been here many times, probably like 20 or more times, because you've lived here for like almost a year. Has it been a year?
Yes.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Today was the first time that I drove here without Google Maps.
Whoa.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's perhaps a little bit of a self-report on like my poor navigational skills, but
That's fine. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know how I would have functioned pre-Google Maps days.
Oh, like MapQuest?
Yeah, I remember the MapQuest days, but like I would never drive. I would just like my mom would be like, "Hey, can you look up on the computer how to do the thing?" and then
print it out.
Yeah.
Dude, I was really blown away. I was having a conversation with somebody. This is really going to date me, and I'm so sorry to people that are older than me. But it needs to get put out there because this is kind of bewildering. And I feel like enough of the people that listen to this podcast are younger than me that they will also be bewildered.
Okay.
So now that I've gotten that out of the way.
Right.
I was talking with somebody, and I was like, he was talking about like MapQuest and whatever, and I was like, yeah, well, like, what did you do before that? And he was like, oh, you want to know what life was like before we had easy access to the internet to look up where things were and to like communicate with people? And I was like, yeah. He's like, so obviously, like, you told somebody you were meeting them somewhere, you would be there.
Whoa.
That's kind of the number one, right? You kind of just wait for people to show up. And if they don't, you assume something happened or they stood you up. One or the other.
Okay.
But the other thing is oftentimes if you're going somewhere, so like their example was like a party. Someone was throwing a party and you didn't know where they lived. They would give you the directions and they would give you like more or less how to get there. But oftentimes like you just have to pull over. And like pull over at a gas station or like pull over somewhere and like ask for directions.
Whoa.
So when we see that in movies, it's not just because people are lost, but it's because part of getting to places, like the Google of that day, were just like other people.
That's crazy. But I guess that sort of makes sense. Like, you can give someone like the major intersection that you live near, but that only gets you so close.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you just be like, hey, how do I get to 2964 Rocking Horse Avenue?
Dude, I want to live on Rocking Horse Avenue.
That does sound kind of sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really like astounded by that conversation. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And also it makes me feel like just because of the prevalence of technology, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I know what the 3 streets down from me is. Like, the number streets, obviously I know, but if you were like, which one is, I'm going to make up a state because a lot of the streets here are named after like states or presidents.
Mm-hmm.
If you were like, what is Hawaii Street?
I also was thinking Hawaii, so that's kind of crazy.
I would have to be like, I don't know how to get to Hawaii Street. Look it up, please.
Right.
Let me Google it. If
Yeah.
you can't Google it, I can Google it.
Right.
I'm good at Google.
Yeah. It's crazy that we live in such a time where you can just Google anything at any time.
Yeah. It's crazy that we live in such a time that like you and I can record our conversation, take the audio, manipulate it really easily without having to physically alter any tape.
Right.
Put that onto a computer, put that on a website on the computer, and then other people can just listen to it at any time for free.
Yeah. Hopefully you're doing that. Well, I mean, you are if you're listening to it. Yeah. Do it some more.
Tell
please.
other people to do it.
Yeah. Get your friends. We're fun.
We like people.
Yeah. And also, we don't have to meet your friend, probably. We don't have to meet you, probably.
We might not.
We probably won't unless we already have.
And in which case, hi, how are you doing? How are the kids?
Yeah. How are you, kid?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What number are we on? Are we on 10?
10?
Okay. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
My mom listens to this podcast. So
nothing.
Exactly. Nothing. So okay. So when I was a lad, I was forbidden from consuming any media that was outside of my age rating from the ESRB and whatever the movie one is. So on the day that I turned 13, I was gifted the video game Rock Band, which is rated teen, and I saw Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, which is rated PG-13, and I think was the first ever PG-13 movie, ? Someone should fact check me on that, but I think that's true. And then I also saw The Dark Knight in theaters, which shows how old I am. But I feel like 2 of those 3 things I probably could have consumed at a younger age than 13. I feel like Batman is the only one that I needed to be 13 for, So I feel like some of that is sort of like more nebulous than it needs to be, right? Like, especially if you look at like a movie from the 1960s that's G, and then a movie today that's G, like not the same, right? Like the standards have changed. And so I feel like if I were to pick one thing, I feel like that thing could have been a little bit more, there could have been more wiggle room there. And if I ever have kids, I think that is something like I will, like I don't want to necessarily let kids have just like free reign of whatever they want, but I feel like some stuff is not as bad as people make it seem to be.
Yes.
And, here's a story. So one time I was in middle school and I had, so my middle school class was very small. There were 28 people in our grade. 7 of them were boys. So we were all kind of friends, even though a lot of them were mean to me. So one time I had a bunch of them over to my house, and one friend had Resident Evil 4, and he snuck it into my house in a Naruto game case because Resident Evil was rated M, and we played it in my basement, and I was not very good at it. But that happened. The end. Sorry, Mom. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That's my answer.
That says a lot.
Yeah. I really confess a lot of things on this podcast. We should just rename it to Confessions with Luke, and also Jorge is here.
St. Luke's Confessions.
Yeah, we could have a segment.
Wow. Wow.
I'm going to run out of things to confess. I can make something up, though.
I mean, have you read the Confessions?
What? Who's? What?
Augustine?
Oh.
Augustine?
No.
He confesses a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
is it juicy?
Not really. It's kind of boring.
Oh. Bummer.
So, I mean, have at it.
Great.
If that's your go-to.
Yeah.
I would say, look, my parents did the absolute best they could with what they had. And all things considered, I feel like I had a really great upbringing. Like my parents were not nearly as strict about like what I could and couldn't watch. And to be totally honest, my brother and I knew way more about the internet than my parents still do.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even if my parents tried to say, look, you're not going to see certain things on the internet or whatever, like I was the kid that went on DisneyChannel.com without parental permission.
Whoa.
I know, crazy.
Yeah, real rebel.
But that's because my parents were like, what do you want my permission for? I couldn't stop you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a really realistic way to look at that, I feel like.
Yeah. So, for what it's worth, like, there's very few things that I would change about my upbringing. I think as a kid, I just didn't like... in retrospect, I think growing up on a farm was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, the freedom and the space are things that I, like, miss actively in my everyday life. Though as a child, I just wish there was an easier way to hang out with my friends.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because I didn't get to hang out with my friends outside of school because we lived so far from everybody.
Yeah.
So, or occasion every once in a by the time I was in like middle school, I had like in elementary school I had like one friend and we would hang out sometimes because our parents knew each other or whatever. And in middle school I would start hanging out with some folks occasionally, like if I got invited to like a party, it was somebody's birthday party, and it was, I could go to that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, especially when I was in like elementary school, I would have loved to hang out with people more. And so just even being closer to town or whatever. But, in retrospect, for what it's worth, like, no, I think that really formed me and like instilled a lot of the values that I have.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Teresa and Jorge Sr. did a pretty good job. So, what can I say? I'm perfect.
You are. I think so.
Ask Teresa if she thinks that.
I will next time I see her. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. I'm going to skip number 11. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So we'll just tell the listeners. Number 11 says, take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible. And that just feels like a lot of work. So I don't want to do that. Yeah. Okay. So we're moving on to number 12, which is, if you could wake up tomorrow morning having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? Should we limit this to like things that are real, or should we anything? Right? Because like we could say like the power of flight, or we could say like the ability to speak German, and I feel like those are in like different camps,
Yeah.
Or one of each.
I would say let's limit it to things that feel realistic.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have one?
I feel like if I could wake up tomorrow having gained one quality, it would be discipline.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I think I'm very undisciplined in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like sometimes I really struggle to get out of bed in the mornings sometimes. Or like I have a hard time committing to hard deadlines or... Well, I think I've gotten better with deadlines, but like, just like the like ability to say this thing is gonna be difficult or uncomfortable, and that's okay, and we're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm not as good at as I wish I was.
Has that always been true, or do you feel like you had a period in your life where you were better at it, and then now it's worse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when I was in like high school, I just did things more.
That's fair.
But also, like, I don't know, like, I was also terrible and hated doing homework. And at least in undergrad, I got better at doing homework. And now I feel like I'm doing homework all the time.
Yeah, bummer.
It's okay. But I mean, but like, in that regard. But I used to get up earlier than I do now without complaining. And
Yeah. What?
And I, like, used to be able to exercise without, like, hating it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were going to say something.
It's gone. I don't know.
Sorry.
You're good. I really feel you though. I definitely in undergrad also was like way better. But also, if I think back to undergrad, those dorm mattresses were awful. And so sometimes when I'm like in my bed now and I'm like, boy, I wish that I could just get out of bed, I think back to those dorm mattresses and I was like, I will just blame it on having a comfy mattress. Like back in the day when I would wake up and my back would hurt, I didn't mind getting up to go for a run because at least I was out of the uncomfortable bed. But then now...
Fair enough. I feel like I can sleep on any surface though.
Oh.
Still.
Wow. does it have to be horizontal, or can you like in any orientation? Like, can you sleep like a bat?
No. I have a hard time falling asleep sitting down on purpose.
Okay. But on accident it happens?
Occasionally, yeah,
fair.
for sure. But I feel like horizontal, I can sleep like most couches, sometimes on the floor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you ever wake up and feel like that was maybe not a good idea?
Occasionally, yeah, specifically on the floor. Almost never on couches, though. I feel like most couches I feel pretty happy with.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. If it has any amount of cushion, I'm pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's going to be my one quality, is to be able to sleep well on any soft surface. Because, like, I can't even really sleep in my own couch. Like, sometimes I try, and then, like, halfway through the night, and I wake up, and my back is all, like, messed up, and then I go to my real bed.
What about, you have, like, that futon that's in the other room?
Mm-hmm. I've never slept on that. I can only assume that it's not very comfortable.
I think it's fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a feeling that you might disagree.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not... I should think of a better quality to gain overnight.
But also, whatever. That's fine.
Okay.
That's telling.
Sure. That'll be my one. If I can't pick discipline because you picked it, I'll pick that.
Okay.
Or just like any other language that I could just instantly know.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I would love to, if it's like a skill and not like a quality, I would definitely pick like coding.
Ooh.
Or no. I'm going to take that back. Coding is great. Nothing against coding. Love coding. Some like creative thing. Playing a new instrument.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Or like being really good at like photography, or being able to edit audio really easily.
Oh, that'd be nice for stuff.
Yeah.
I feel that. Can I change mine to being like 3 notches better at all the instruments that I pretend to play?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because that would make me like really good at a couple of them and like passable at a couple other ones. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Rad. We moving on?
Yeah. Should we? So here at cosmopolitan.com tells me that there is a clear break between the first 12 questions and the next 24. So the first 12, I'm assuming, were set 1, and we're about to start set 2.
Yup. So it'll be different, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should we start set 2?
We're definitely not going to get through all of set 2.
Should we save set 2 for another episode?
Let's save set 2 for another episode.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be a 2-parter.
Maybe
possibly
even
a 3-parter.
Yeah, because there's a set 3 starting at number 25.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it is 3 sets.
Wow. So tune in next time. Probably not next time. That would be a lot going on.
We'll come back to this.
We will. Yeah. Eventually. Yeah.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I had a thought since I saw you last time.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear what it is?
Absolutely.
So when you were this is kind of going back to whatever question it was about being raised. Did you consume a lot of media with your parents?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say most movies I watched with my parents.
Did you find it fairly easy to agree on like what to watch, or was it kind of like somebody's always compromising?
I feel like most of the time my parents were telling me what we were going to watch if we were watching stuff together.
Okay, that's very similar to how my experience was also. But I feel like a lot of the time when that happened, like if my dad was in control, it would be like Dirty Jobs, or like This Old House, or like something like a Gold Rush or something.
Yes.
And then if my mom was in charge, it would be like Jeopardy, or a Hallmark movie around Christmas time, or like Wheel of Fortune or something. And I was thinking about these things, and I was like, maybe parents just like things that are boring. And I kind of sat with that for a little bit, and I was like, well, maybe that's too much of a blanket statement. But then I was like, well, maybe it's kind of real. But then I thought about the stuff that I watch, and I caught myself watching like a guy making a table on YouTube, and like a guy making a terrarium on YouTube, and like a girl making a diorama on YouTube. And then I realized that I like things that are boring too. So here I am, yet another late 20s man becoming his parents.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're making me have a lot of self-realization in this moment, and I don't love it.
Right?
Ooh.
It's easy to like things that are boring.
The other day, Alexa and I were sitting on the couch, and we were going through... I was watching stuff on YouTube, and then she sat down, and then she was like, oh, I can pick a video, and it was my profile.
Okay.
And so most of the recommendations were other like clips that were like 30 seconds to 90 seconds of other people playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay, cool.
And she was like, it's all Zelda, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. So in that way, I think I'm becoming boring. But like, I don't know, it's a fun game. You should play it.
Yeah.
Everyone should play it.
I'm gonna.
You will. Yeah. You have to finish Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, which I just started. And then also, I've been told that I might need a break in between because they're both really long.
They are very long games.
Yeah.
So it might take like a year or two before you...
Yeah. Check out episode 90 when I talk about Tears of the Kingdom.
Hopefully sooner.
Well, I don't know. Man.
Well, fair enough.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also been realizing that I've been watching a lot of reality TV recently.
Oh, like what?
There's a reality competition show on Netflix that I had watched the first season of that I'm now watching the second season of. I guess it's true for a lot of the shows. The one I'm watching right now though is Barbecue Showdown.
Ooh, I've been getting ads for that.
The first season's killer. The second season so far is good. Alexa and I just finished watching Ultimatum, the Ultimatum, Queer Love.
I've been getting ads for that also.
I watched the first season and it was good.
Is it good? Okay.
I mean, it's reality TV and it's a dating show.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. There's so much drama in this second season.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's like mostly women and like femme presenting people. It's spicy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel gross in the like presenting a token minority kind of a way. Because when I saw an ad for that, I was like, "Oh, they're probably not going to treat this correctly."
No, I think they did a pretty good job.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it helps that everyone is like much the same way that like the original season of The Ultimatum is like all straight couples, or at least that's what everyone is expecting. Mm-hmm. This one is very much like everyone here is queer.
Okay,
so except for the host for some reason, But she also shows up twice.
Okay,
and I guess at the reunion 3 times total.
Great.
Yeah.
Why do they even have a host?
Great question.
Weird.
And why didn't they give the job to a queer like that?
Yeah,
that's the one where I'm like, strange, but also whatever. The show itself, I think, does a good job of like handling pretty sensitive topics.
That's good.
Yeah, the people themselves don't often.
Perfect.
Yeah, if the sensitive topics are each other's hearts.
Oh.
But it's so juicy. I like the drama. I like the drama of reality TV.
That's fair.
Yeah. And in that way, I'm turning into my mom, who growing up loves the telenovelas. So
nice.
This is my like version of that, I guess.
There you go. You're also a late 20-something turning into your parents.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad also always loved like shows where people were building things, or he loved how it's made. Ooh. Which, to be fair, I love too. Yeah. And maybe I've just been boring.
Maybe.
I really love deep explainer videos on like niche topics.
Okay.
Whether that's like an artist or, like an album, or oftentimes it's like a musical thing, like, oh, this is how this chord progression works, or like this is, how to do this thing on an instrument and incorporate it into your regular playing.
Gotcha.
And then sometimes it's like, this is this like philosophical thing, and this is how it functions, and this is the morality of J.K. Rowling or whatever.
Whoa.
Like, cool. But interesting.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
So, that's definitely my sort of niche. Why is it difficult to bring a guitar or a bass through the airport?
Oh, man. I've never done that. Have you ever done that?
I have.
Is it a whole thing?
I lucked out that the flight that I was on, I was only one way because I was driving back with somebody.
Okay.
And in the direction that I was flying, it was a very empty flight.
Oh.
So the airline did not make a big deal about it. But under normal circumstances, I feel like it would have been very difficult.
Did you carry it on, or did you check it under?
I carried it. I have checked a guitar before, though. Now that I think about it, it was a guitar I didn't feel especially precious about. But I did remember untuning all of the strings because people were like, the pressure will make your neck snap, which I don't know if that's true. And then I packed it with like hella clothing. Okay. And I was just praying that it made it in both directions. I remember slapping a Fragile sticker on it. And then I think I also remember seeing it from the plane and seeing the person underneath just kind of like, whoop, Just throw it.
I'm sure they just toss stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Did it make it okay though?
Yeah, and I made it back.
Wow.
The guitar still exists.
Cool.
It's in my parents' house.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should put a Fragile sticker on the guitar to commemorate the time that you flew with it.
Man. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear something interesting about me?
Yes.
So are
always.
you familiar with the band Big and Rich?
Unfortunately.
What if I told you that I've seen them in concert twice?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
So at least one of the times, my friend who no longer lives around here, but I met in kindergarten, and she grew up on the Western Slope. Mm-hmm. So she would come to Denver for the rodeo, and then my mom and I would meet her and her mom in Denver for the rodeo.
Is this the one in January?
The one in January.
Is this the stock show?
Well, we did go to the stock show also, but no, there was like a summertime rodeo or something. Cool. And so at least one of the times Big and Rich was performing at the rodeo like in the evening. And so I went to there then, and then I don't know what the second time was. Maybe it was that also. But they have stuff on the back of their guitars. They have like neon stuff on the back of their guitar. And so they like flip it up and hold it up. And one of them says applause. And I forget what the other one says. But
shut up.
Maybe. Stop applauding. Yeah, so now you know that I've seen Big and Rich in concert 2 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Right? It feels out of character.
Very out of character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke, how do you feel about country music in general?
So at the time that I was seeing Big and Rich in concert, I was too young to have my own take on anything, right?
Yeah.
And then as I grew older, I was like, I hate country music. It's the worst thing ever. And now I am a little bit more neutral on it, where like I don't hate it if it comes on, and I don't think I would normally seek it out, but like sometimes if it's like summertime and I have a line in Kugel, maybe I'm in the mood. But it's like only in very specific instances.
Yeah.
I would not say that I'm a fan, and if I see someone on Tinder that's like a country music fan, I'm like, nah, maybe no thanks. But I don't despise it as I once did.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about country music?
I think my take is nuanced. I love Mexican regional music, which shares a lot of roots with country music.
That makes sense.
But in general, I don't listen to country music. I think I'll say the very unnuanced thing, which is, like modern country is bad. I don't think that's true wholesale. Okay. I think that there's like a lot of stuff that I'm not a huge fan of country music, especially stuff that's come out recently. I don't love. There's like a very indie country scene that has a lot of alternative country folks like that I've really, really grown to appreciate. Casey Musgraves. I'm thinking of the guy with the like fringe hat situation.
I don't know if I know who that is.
It's a mask, and then he wears a cowboy hat on top. Orville Peck.
That's a name that I've heard before.
I love Orville Peck. Right. He was released a lot of really great music. Yeah, Casey Musgraves is another example of someone who's like younger but still country. Yeah, and like I can go as far back as like much older country, like Dolly Parton. Country before 9/11, right?
Yeah,
like there's a lot of good country from like the 90s and from the 80s and 70s and 60s or whatever. Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Whom I love. John Denver, who a lot of people will say is not country, but fundamentally to me is country.
Okay.
I love John Denver.
Me
John
too.
Denver is one of my favorite artists. Yes.
Especially with the Muppets. That's right.
I went to a John Denver exhibit at the History Colorado Center, which is like the Colorado History Museum.
Whoa.
It was honestly an underwhelming exhibit.
Oh, that's a shame.
It was like in the lobby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
They did him dirty. Terrible.
But it was cool to like hear a little bit of like his history and stuff. Yeah. I love John Denver.
Yeah.
In Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. I wore black for like the majority of undergrad.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't really anymore though.
I try to sometimes. It's for those reasons specifically, right? Like Johnny Cash really outlines it well in that song, I think. If you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to the song.
Yep. Google it.
Yeah.
We live in the Google age
We
now.
live in the Google age. Don't ask me how to get to 69420 Mapleton Drive Avenue.
Right.
Look
Look it up.
it up.
You'll figure it out.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, I think this has been...
I think this has been an episode.
Yeah.
This has been a podcast.
It sure has.
Do we have anything to plug?
Ourselves, hey, check us out on all the social media stuff, Luke and Jorge Pod. Send us a Venmo if you want, Luke and Jorge Pod.
What? Twitter, Instagram, YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now.
Yeah, go on there.
Yeah.
We're trying to up those numbers. So if you listened to this one on not YouTube, listen to 20 on YouTube. Please. Thanks.
Episode 20 or 20 episodes?
Yes.
Okay.
Both things.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Cool. Oh. We are right after this. We are going to go see the opening of the new Transformers film.
The Rise of Beasts?
Yeah.
Rise of the Beasts?
Yeah.
Who knows what it's called?
Right. I don't know if I even really care to know what it's called. So we will let you know how that is, maybe, if we remember to tell you.
Yeah. Check our Instagram at about the time this episode comes out.
Yeah.
You'll see a photo of us probably at the theater.
Yeah. Hopefully remember to take it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
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 If we don't, you can add us at our Gmail. Send us an email at lukeandjorgepod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
In Spanish, that's lukeejorgepod@gmail.com.
Right. They're both real. You can go to our website, makemycarfly.com. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Get out of here.
Peace.